Oil prices fell for a third day today, hit by concerns that a political rift between Qatar and several Arab states will undermine an OPEC-led push to tighten the market. Persistent gains in U.S. production also dragged on benchmark crude prices. Brent crude was trading at $49.27 per barrel earlier today, down 20 cents from its last close. That is down now 9% from the open of futures trading on May 25, when an OPEC-led policy to cut oil output was extended into the first quarter of 2018. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude had dropped 18 cents to $47.21 per barrel. That is down about 8% from the May 25 open. And for more on the global oil market, I'm being joined by a research analyst with financial derivatives company, Ada Akonobi. Good afternoon, Ada. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Good afternoon.
So, with the Middle East crisis escalating and U.S. production increases, it's really not a good time for the global oil market, or is it?
Well, oil prices are reacting negatively to the geopolitical tension in the Middle Eastern region. Most analysts expected a bump in prices. However, prices are actually trading downwards, mainly because they feel like the geopolitical tension could undermine the recent OPEC policy, oil production cut policy deal that was signed on initially. So that is the sentiment driving oil prices right now.
Now, Qatar's crude output ranks as one of the smallest among the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. So what difference will this really make for the output cut deal?
Well, if you look at the OPEC producers, Qatar is like number 10. Their production is about 600,000 barrels per day. So they're not very significant in terms of having any major effect or impact on the output deal. However, it seems like they have allies with Iran and Iraq. But I mean, that is the worst case scenario. But so far, oil prices are not going up, and I mean, there's the concern of the U.S. shale production intensifying as well. So all these news are actually putting a downward pressure on prices right now.
And do you see this Middle East crisis deteriorating?
Well, it appears that this has actually been going on for so long, and it seems like it's more or less like a deep-rooted issue between the Middle Eastern giants and Qatar. I mean, Bahrain, Egypt, and the UAE have all cut diplomatic ties from Qatar, and that has an effect on their exports. But I mean, however, it seems like the export route hasn't been disrupted, so oil and gas flows are still, working perfectly. So I don't see that having any effect on prices. And will the Middle Eastern crisis deteriorate for that? Who knows? But this is a development that continues to unfold. But so far, it's not looking good.
Right. It's not just the Middle East crisis that is bothering the global oil market right now. And of course, OPEC, there's also the U.S. Oil production. And last week we saw the U.S. President Donald Trump pulling U.S. out of the Paris Agreement. So what will this mean for U.S. shale production and, of course, the global oil markets in general?
Well, it seems like oil prices still are indirectly pricing in the impact of this. That means, I mean, the signal that points towards is that the U.S. Donald Trump slowly wants to continue to ramp up its production, and it seems like he's bent on his policy to increase the U.S. production. So he's not really looking to curb any carbon emission that they have right now. And the losers here are the oil producers, because if oil production continues to increase, that will have, in the long run, that's going to put a downward pressure on prices. So that is the indirect link to oil prices right now. So
what next for OPEC?
Well, so far, carrying on to what I said previously, the worst case scenario may be going back to, the worst case scenario may be OPEC producers not complying, not following up with the OPEC production cut deal. But so far, the deal is going on, and prices didn't even react positively because they expected a deeper production cut. But with 1.8 million barrels per day, that is not enough to soak up the oil glut that we have right now. So the U.S. oil rigs have been going on for the 20 20th consecutive week. The Middle Eastern crisis is putting downward pressure on prices, and U.S. trying to ramp up production and not signing on to the Paris agreement is actually putting pressure on prices as well. So these are the major developments we have right now. But if the tension in the Middle East eases, I don't see an immediate effect on prices because we still have the underlying supply glut.
All right. Thank you very much for those updates, Ada Akonobi, research analyst with financial derivatives. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment.